Well, here it goes. We are going to start tearing into this brand new John Deere Gator 845R with a whole 12 miles on it. I put 3 on, so I guess it was about 15 something on it. But we're gonna get into tearing this whole thing down, completely tearing the cab apart. I got rubber washers sitting over there because for some reason they have this seat metal to metal. Hear that vibration? That's going to be eliminated with those. And then all of this, I don't think we'll do a headliner or anything with that because most of your sound is coming from the road, like any other side-by-side, and from the engine. So this whole floor, all the seats, all this plastic, this is coming out. Not much you can do for sound with that big back window, obviously. Most side-by-sides are not that big, but on the Gators it's nice because that's what they're built for. But all of this is coming out. We'll see about these side pillars. I don't know how they're in there. It's not so fun messing with seat belts and taking that stuff off, but most likely we'll have to take the bottom one off and then tip up the bed, and we'll actually seal that back panel that I'll show you here in a little bit, especially to try and take the sound away from that intake, because believe it or not, on most side-by-sides your intake is what is causing a lot of the noise, along with the CVT intake and outtake. This is the 2 spots that need those pins, because they already have a rubber stopper right here for where the seat goes down on, so your noise is coming from there. Not so much the mount because it's solid, even though you do have this little mechanism to put the seat back and forth. It's all coming from those. So yeah, all this seat will come out, all this plastic, and this again. And then, geez, you can tell I haven't done a video in a while. This is gonna be a rusty, terrible video, but look at that thing. Good Lord. So it kind of helps that your belt outtake is back there, but the intake being right here is super loud. So again, like I said before, just to where you can see, or not see, I should say, when the box is down is where we're going to seal on the backside down also, because that'll get rid of the sound in here from, like I said before, the intake of the actual motor and the belt. And then we'll wrap this and this side with the soundproofing, and then that should really help. The best part is the room they have in here. Like all of this, I'll basically put a mat in between this that is made of tin foil per se. It has tin foil in between it so it can't melt or start on fire. That I have, and then that's pretty much it till we start tearing it apart. I'll set up the camera and show you guys some play along video, or fast forward as I take this cab completely apart. Well, we have a minor update. It looks like a lot, but it is definitely not. I'll explain, starting with the easiest pull these pins out of the front bumper, tilt it forward, you'll be able to pull your tabs on your hood right here to open the hood up, put it in its pins, and then literally 2 connectors on each side for the headlights. And then up here is all either 8mm, 13, T40. Oh, and there is a couple 10mm in there. So starting with top, coming down to the bottom, you'll have 2 T40s right here, which look like this. These T40s are separate. Get to them in a second. Them are the 2 that are on top. And then these are 10mm, which went right into there. And this is a 110mm. More looks like a screw, like that style, opposed to these types. This is the, sorry, that's a note. These are the 4 10mm that were in this, back to the 110mm screw type that was in that one for that. And then again, these are the 2 headlight wires. And from those 2 to that, right back in here, it actually comes from the bottom up, is an 8mm on both sides to catch that tab on the bottom. And then to take 2 T40s out of here, which are those thicker ones right there. This is actually would be up like that in the frame, and the 2 T40s go in the front right into there. And then for some reason on this side, that same mount, but on this side is 2 13mm bolts and nuts. I don't know why they changed them, but that's there. And the only other 2 are these 2 on the very front. They actually go right in through here and there. Whoop, where are we at? Through there on each side. And then also these 2 little bucket front bumper pushers is 2 T40s in each, and them just come out of the way. This is much easier and it's super easy to take them off. Them go right there and right there. Take them off before you take the rest of that off. And then that should be it. Everything we went through, that's that 8mm on each side. And that should be everything so far. Now next, so I don't have to include it into a next video, or retake it. I'm just gonna take right now and show you guys these T40s also. I'm gonna take, this is metal, to the plastic on the inside. So these will come out to put sound deadening all in here, is why I took out as much as I can in certain places. Obviously in here, it's not gonna be easy to get to, but I can definitely put some matting up here, because this stuff is never gonna get seen. If you're up in here, there's something wrong anyway. So nobody will ever see up in here. So as much sound deadening as you can get against this firewall for tire noise and wind sound is basically the best. And then you'll see again, this can all get covered in there. Get my light. Ish, all that is gonna get, you'll see it when it's done. All that'll be done, but yeah, take these T40s out, take this metal plate off also, and you'll be able to access a lot of it It's super easy to take off. You might, I guess, on this one have to turn the wheel and take that T40 out also. And then the rest of the silver T40s are just pure metal on metal. Otherwise, that's going to be it for the front. And basically, this is the easiest way to seal the front without getting into all of this. Otherwise, you're ripping apart the dash, which I do on the Polaris Rangers because it's much easier to take the upper dash out and then the front upper dash and the lower dash to get to all this. But in a John Deere, it's not quite the same. I mean, definitely can easily be done, but messing with all these electronics on something when you can put it up front and you know everything's going to fit back in its fitment, because everything I took off has nothing to do with where I'm going to put the sound deadening. So that's the best part. And then we'll move back after we get these off and this all cleaned up. We'll move to the inside and rip that whole interior apart also. I think I'll do that for the video, completely tear it down, then go and sound deaden everything, and then put it all back together. At first I was going to do, which I'm rambling and nobody wants to listen to this, but I was going to take everything off, put the sound deadening on, and then put it all back together. So like this would be all back, and then I would start in the cab, take that all out, sound deaden it, and then put the cab back together. But I think instead of doing that, we're just going to take it all apart, sound deaden it, just to see. It's going to be crazy with something with, I mean, a lot of people do it all the time. It's something with this least amount of miles and literally came from the dealership to the guy's house, then straight to here. That's just crazy. Ripping apart how many $1,000 machine, even though I do it a lot. This is probably one of the first with, I don't know, you guys can look back on my Polaris Expedition video. I don't remember how many that had on it, but that was, I think, 1,000. No way. 100. I don't know. You guys look back at it, comment, let me know, but this is definitely the lowest miles one I probably ever did. And the only reason it has the 16, I forget if I said 15 or 16 at the beginning of this video, but I put 3 on it. It had 12.9 when he pulled it into my driveway, and he lives probably 3 to 5 miles from me. So him test driving it and just little here and there is all this thing has. I could smell everything was new when he pulled it into the driveway, what it smelled like. Everything was basically getting hot for one of the first couple times, but done rambling. Let's get on to the next part of this. Well, I figured I better come back to actually film a little of this part, which I explained a little in the last part of my video, but this little push pin, Christmas tree clips people call them, that needs to come out when you're, jeepers, easy buddy, when you're going to take these plates out, because 2 of these are hidden on each side. I'll show you here in a second. But 2 of these, they're all T40s still, need to come out also. So there's your Christmas tree clip, pop that out. There's the 2 black T40s that go there. But then you have to get behind here, and right there is one of those T40s that's buried. So it would be right here. You have to pull this over to get that T40 out, and then there's one right there. You can kind of see straight down from my thumb, right there. Just pull this plastic out, and then that'll get your bottom piece of metal out. As you can see, here's the top piece, then the bottom. Same on this side. Top piece is underneath. This is the bottom. This would be on the outside. This is obviously on the inside towards the machine. But same setup, push pin. There's one right here, and then one right there. And then now you see kind of what I'm talking about before. All of that, depending on what you can see. I mean, I'll cut out what if you do see it. But all of that now is going to be able to get cab sealed. And you could probably do that with just taking the inner fender wells out, the metal parts of it. But at the same point, both side fender wells took just as long to take out as this whole front end. So to get that out of the way, and you can actually put the stuff in there smoothly, and honestly more places, like this is going to be covered on this back side of it. Obviously covering up here won't help anything. That'd keep the noise louder through the vents, but in there now can all get covered, and a lot easier and better just because this is removed. I mean, this is all covered before, but now I can get down in there, put some in there, and put some in here on this top part, because this was all covered right here. And then I can just kind of see more what I'm doing. Any vents, I shouldn't say vents, any holes that also would bring in noise, which there's not many on a John Deere, but I'm trying to give you an example the camera could see. Well, there isn't one. That's the only good part, because like I said in the beginning of either this video or my last video, these cabs are honestly sealed up pretty good, but this one will be extra quiet, that's for sure. But say on like Rangers, you'll look right here on a Ranger, and yeah, they have a little grommet in there, but it's still letting sound and air through, especially the people with no heat. That's a good spot to plug. And then each side right here on a Ranger, which this video ain't about a Ranger, but yeah, go to my Ranger video if we're about how to seal one of those up. Or if you want to look at what I'm talking about just before about sealing them up. Like this spot on a Ranger would be just terribly a wide open, terrible air gap. They have this one like super sealed. Like the rubber grommet actually comes out to zip tie against the wiring harness, which is crazy cool. But also everything comes with a price. Like that one, maybe, yeah, that's good. Also, that's crazy. They put that much. Well, it's good they put that much time into these for what they cost, but players don't do that. So that'd be a prime example of one on a Ranger. What's your guys' problem? Got a lot of rain today, can you tell? All right, anyway, back to this.